Welcome back to another episode of the Unranked Recruits, this show where the name is not false advertising. I'm Jay King, that's Nick Rose, and we got a special guest from the Hitting Cage, Tristan Thornhill. Tristan, how's it going?
It's going. It's going. I feel like sports right now, for me personally, is kind of just dead. You know, like I'm in a lull. Like we got basketball.
We got basketball starting up. We got the college football regular season coming to an end. We got NFL season right in the thick of it. We got NBA and NHL starting up. There's so much happening right now. I don't know what you mean we're in a low point.
I have no idea what just happened, but I'm here. I think. Do you guys have me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope the recording's still going. I just got an error message and I just hit OK, thinking that it would disappear. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, like I said, sports are kind of just in a dead period. I really hope this is still recording, but
It is.
kind of just in a dead period, right?
What?
I think sports for me personally kind of just a dead period. There's basketball, but that's it.
No.
No.
We got the postseason heating up in college football. We have the NFL.
No, I know, but I'm just talking about like my team personally.
Oh, your team's. Oh, yeah, you're a Giants fan. Yeah.
Well, you
I can't. I can't speak though. Personally.
Well, no. I've had things to root for. They just every time that I get happy, they end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I could be Chance. You know, I could be a Vikings fan.
Oh yeah, no, that could be brutal. Could have to deal with 9 every Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm probably gonna
anyway,
reveal
thank you guys for having
NFL
me
team
on.
Is.
Thank y'all for having me on though. This
Yeah.
is fun.
No, yeah.
Even if it is for brief.
Well, anyway, we got so many elephants in the room to talk about that is turning into a whole zoo. But let's start with the breaking news, the 2 breaking headlines that happened today. Let's start off with the one that relates to the University of Tennessee first. Tennessee firing Tim Banks the other day, hiring Jim Knowles, Penn State's defensive coordinator, most notably on Ohio State's national championship team last year, to come in as the defensive coordinator. Guys, what are your thoughts on this hire?
I mean, I think it was a great hire. I've been on the fire Tim Banks bus since he gave up 200 rushing yards to Matt Corral in 2021. I mean, he has not really coached a good defense except for last year, and I feel like that was more of a fluke due to the talent. Safeties coach, and they've been just awful in his tenure here. So I think bringing in a guy like Jim Knowles, who has this resume of building great defenses wherever he really goes, at like Ohio State, at Penn State, at Oklahoma State, and even at Duke, I think the Vols are going to have to give him some time for sure. But once he gets going, I think the Vols will be just fine on the defensive side of the ball.
I am skeptical. I don't hate it. I had candidates. And if you're a Big Ten fan or you're just not an SEC fan, go ahead and fast forward through my part. I really couldn't give less of a care, honestly. Your opinions are invalid, and I'm here to tell you that. Listen, this isn't my show. I can be unhinged here. That's fine. I wanted an SEC hire, but the SEC is so freaking competitive. It's kind of hard to just take somebody from somebody. So I get it. Don't get me wrong. That 2024 Ohio State defense, they won a national championship. Yes. But I don't know if I trust somebody who willingly went and coached in the Big Ten compared to an SEC school. I mean, you've heard Big Ten players say it themselves. The SEC, when you play in the Big Ten, you got games. You play your games. Every time you take the field in the SEC, it's different. And if you don't get that, that's fine. Call me an idiot. Call me SEC bias. It's fine. I've seen it first and forehand. I've been to, a Big Ten game compared to an SEC game. And I am telling you, it's just different. Their logo literally means, not their logo, their slogan really means something. It's just different. That being said, I know that he won a national championship. What is Penn State's defense? Penn State's defense was good before everything just derailed. But they also gave up 50 points to Nico. I'm ahead of now. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe yet. I don't know. Plus he's a grandpa. I'd love somebody that shows you hands-on what they want from the defensive standpoint. And But also at the same time, my heart's telling me anything's better than third and banks. You know, like
Yeah, exactly. The third down defense is going to improve instantly.
I agree. It's just that you also at the same time have to understand he was missing his 1 and 2 safeties. He was. And the defense has talent. It's just not being coached right. So I agree that the right decision was to fire Banks. But I understand what he's saying on his way. I'm like, yeah, guys, look at my defense last year, and then my defense wasn't even healthy this year. So I understand what his frustration might be. But brother, I mean, you were single handedly one of the you were the reason that we didn't. I would say we could have gone 10-2 if our defense was good this year.
Yeah, I will say Jim Knowles wasn't my top candidate per se. I
No,
think Mark Stoops was the guy that I kind of wanted. He was the assistant coach on the defense, William Inge, I think, or the great recruiter,
don't.
the recruiter.
Aren't you worried about his relationship with Josh? His brother fired him at OU.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
think that was
never
good.
gonna get hired. He was never.
Yeah,
I don't think that was gonna. Don't be wrong. He was on my list too. He was number 3. Will
yeah.
Muschamp was at the top of my list.
Will
If you could
Muschamp
pry
would have
him
been a
away
good
from
hire.
Georgia, if you could have pried him away from Georgia, game on.
But no, I still think it's a very good hire, and just because he doesn't have the SEC experience doesn't mean that he's automatically going to be a bad coach. You know what I
No,
mean?
no. I like I said, it's for me. It's just gonna be wait till fall, and
I
we'll
get
find
it,
out.
but I mean, when he was at Ohio State 2 years ago, he shut down Tennessee and he shut down Texas. So
Yes, exactly. But then that same quarterback that he shut down then hung 50 on him with a lesser team.
that is true. That is true. But that was fresh off of firing Deshaun Foster. UCLA was out playing for something.
Fair, fair. It's fair. The thing is, this is a make or break year for Josh Heupel. It
Yeah.
really
Oh,
is.
for
This next
sure.
year
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
So he better be. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. If I am in Josh Heupel's position, and I know that I'm like, dang. I mean, this is the best I'm gonna get. So if I get fired from Tennessee, I'm gonna be looking going back into the ACC for a coaching job. You know, to be completely honest with you, unless OU somehow comes available or comes knocking. I mean, I look around the SEC, what jobs could be available next year? Maybe South Carolina. Do you want to take a South Carolina job over a Tennessee job? So, like, if I'm Josh Heupel, I know that this is time to go. I'm
Yeah.
I'm sending the house for Will Muschamp. I'm sorry, that's just me.
Jim
But
Knowles was kind of the ultimatum hire that Penn State had for James Franklin this year.
exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying. And look how it panned out for him. Not that
yeah.
it's his fault. Not that it's Jim Knowles' fault. It is completely on the offense, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's happening with Virginia Tech right now, and now Penn State's in the gutter. So
Yeah.
who knows? Jim Knowles could be a W hire. We will find out.
Yeah.
Georgia
All right.
Tech's going to tell us a lot.
And
Yo,
the
that's
other
gonna be a fun one.
breaking
Week
news happening
one.
today, something absolutely crazy. This wasn't even planned to be on the show when I was originally thinking about what to make. And then something happened a few hours ago, a complete bombshell. Sharon Moore, head coach of Michigan, gets arrested and fired after having a relationship with a Michigan employee, getting her pregnant.
Allegedly, allegedly.
Allegedly. There is so much stuff out right now that just I don't know what is happening. I just know he got fired and he got arrested. I don't know how he got arrested. I
Well,
just know he was
allegedly,
fired.
it was he told his wife he was going to kill himself and the staffer. Went to the staffer with a knife and then got intercepted by church police. Is the report as of now? Allegedly,
You guys are breaking this to me. I didn't see any of this.
it's wild. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen some of the stuff, and it was like he couldn't have made it
Well,
more obvious because apparently she got like a 55% pay raise when he became head coach.
I will say this
it's crazy.
as the overseer for sports here at McCosh. I feel like it's my job to say if you have any kind of mental thing you're going through, please reach out to somebody you love or reach out to the avenues that you have to. Uh, if that's truly what is happening with him, I feel terrible for him.
Yeah, no, for
Just
sure.
Absolutely,
that's just a whole lot of that's a whole lot to unpack there, fellas.
Yeah,
dude. He has a wife with 3 kids,
yeah,
and he's doing this. And then people found his
Messy.
Instagram and who he follows, and it's a bunch of 19-year-olds go to Michigan, a bunch of only models. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for Sharon Moore. And that Michigan job is
I mean,
I didn't even see all this.
is
all I
crazy.
have to say is I just hope he gets the help that he needs. That's all I'm
He
gonna
needs
say
it.
about it.
He does need it.
But talking about the football side of things here, Michigan hiring Biff Poggi as their interim head coach. He was the head coach that came when Sherman Moore was suspended. I don't think he's going to be the permanent head coaching option. He was the head coach at Charlotte. Did not do well there. He's a very interesting man. If you look at Biff Poggi, he's a really cool guy, but he's not a very good head coach. So I'm thinking that they have to go out and hire someone. Who do y'all think they hire?
It may
Brian
be
Kelly.
crazy, but don't put it past them. Don't put it past them.
I wouldn't actually.
Honestly, I wouldn't either. But
No, he's
with
very controversial.
some of the things
No.
I've heard, or some of the leaks, if you will, they really want to get Kalen DeBoer. I don't think it's going to happen at all.
No.
But it would be hilarious to watch Bama fans scramble if he does jump ship for Michigan out of all teams.
Lane Kiffin might leave.
Go to Bama.
I'm
kidding.
just looking at the
Kidding.
list that Fox Sports has here, and Brian Kelly is on the list. I'm not even going to go there. 3, Glenn Schumann, the defensive coordinator at Georgia, and then 4, Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. If the DC at Ohio State were to jump ship and go to Michigan, I don't think you realize just how flooded his inbox would be with Ohio State fans.
Tristan, he was the defensive coordinator for the Lions. Or no, he was the head coach for the Lions at a certain point.
Yeah.
That was
So,
a
like,
disastrous
they
hire.
hate him in Michigan.
That is a disastrous hire.
I know. Could you imagine he jumps ship and goes back? Be like LeBron or something.
Fan support if he goes back.
No, I'm seeing on the list.
I mean, Michigan's a dumpster fire anyway, right? If we're being completely honest, I think Michigan is it's a sexy head coaching job, but to me, it's kind of just like a it's back to what it used to be.
I saw Marcus Freeman getting some traction there.
Not.
I don't think it happens though. I don't think it happens.
I saw some buzz about him being a Giants head coach.
I saw some buzz about him being the Titans head coach. But speaking of
that though,
no, I don't. But Jesse Minter right now, the LA Chargers defensive coordinator, is number 1 on Fox Sports' list. Yeah, I could totally see that happening. As a Titans fan, he's number 1 on my list for who I want to be the Titans head coach. I hope that doesn't happen, but I could really see it happening. I think the 2 names that I'm thinking of right now, Brian Dable, potentially. I was hearing some rumors. About him too. I was hearing some rumors about Brian Dable going to a Big Ten job. And then the other guy that I was thinking of was PJ Fleck from Minnesota. Potentially gets called up to Michigan.
I don't think they go PJ Fleck. I think Fleck he had his national spotlight moment several years ago now. And Michigan or Minnesota has been quiet since, pretty much.
I just feel like
barely bowl eligible at times, and they just
Minnesota. But Minnesota's a tough place to win at, right? He keeps on getting these 8-win seasons,
but he's not amounting to more. And I don't think that if he moves to Michigan, it's gonna suddenly his teams are gonna be great again. I just don't see it happening.
I don't know. They gotta hire someone though. Because Biff Poggi's
no, really? You think?
Poggi.
You think, dude? They have to hire somebody? You think? Nah, go figure. Let's get that.
Could go after an Indiana coordinator. Potentially. What? Could go after one of the Indiana's coordinators, potentially.
Mike Shanahan. Not the NFL Mike Shanahan, but Indiana's Mike Shanahan.
You can keep him in the Big Ten. Give him a big gig there.
Take a flyer, maybe get Ed Orgeron or John Gruden. Those are the 2 flashy hires.
Oh, John Gruden.
I don't think that happens, though. I don't think that happens. But
you know how many people wanted John Gruden to become the defensive coordinator at Tennessee, man? My X feed was flooded with John Gruden just be like how much he loves Tennessee. It's just never gonna happen. I'm
trust
sorry.
me, I don't think John Gruden. I would not want John Gruden as my defensive coordinator. I don't know.
I'd love him for recruiting.
Yeah,
Oh, recruiting,
he'd be
big
a good
name.
recruiter. He's just not a scheme guy.
He's an offensive mind to me, I think.
He is
Yeah,
more
he is.
offensive-minded.
Yeah, yeah, he is. But anyway, one of the big things that happened on Sunday was the college football playoff being announced, and a lot of people were not happy about it. What were y'all's thoughts on this? I want to hear it.
The committee,
Nick, it's your show. Go.
the committee did their job. I think they did their job, but they did it wrongly. They should have had Miami in front of Notre Dame last week if they knew this is what was going to happen.
Why?
Oh, for
No,
sure.
well, because at this point there was no reason.
Oh, last week. You said last
Yeah.
week.
Last week, because them moving it this week basically just showed that, well, we're going to punish Notre Dame for not being in a conference, even though Miami didn't play in their conference championship.
Yeah.
If you're going to make this move, make it when both teams have just played. That is my only criticism about it, and other than that, I like it.
All right, here's my thing with it. I think overall the 12 teams were not a bad selection. I just think the problem with it is Alabama getting in, but they did not get punished for losing their conference championship. Now I don't think that's a problem, them not getting punished for losing the conference championship. I don't think that's a problem. The problem is BYU lost their conference championship game, have a better record than Alabama. They get punished. They dropped out. They've had back-to-back 11-win
They were never
seasons.
in, Jay.
They had back-to-back 11-win seasons, and they haven't gotten in either years. I just
all right. Here's my thing.
I don't want to put a 3-loss team in the tournament.
I understand. I really, really do. That's not fair. We actually tough shit, bro. Come play Alabama. They would wipe the floor with BYU, bro.
The SEC's undefeated in hypotheticals.
I can't believe
they're undefeated in hypotheticals.
Bro, but why do we have to have that conversation?
Alabama lost to a shitty Florida State team by 2 scores.
Okay, but Florida State would wipe the floor with BYU.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
It's terrible and overrated.
BYU would destroy Florida State.
Those games at the beginning of the year don't mean squat come. And that's why I understand why those Notre Dame fans are kind of ticked off. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not understanding of Notre Dame fans. I think most Notre Dame fans are huge vaginas, and they deserve everything that's coming their way right now.
You're not wrong.
Conference, you dickheads. But you're telling me if Miami and Notre Dame played again right now, that game wouldn't be a lot different?
It doesn't matter. Miami still beat Notre Dame.
I'm giving you a hypothetical. You're talking about the king of hypotheticals. Giving you another hypothetical right now. Tell me if they run it back, who wins? That's what I'm asking you.
Probably Notre Dame, but
Notre Dame would win
again. But that doesn't matter.
The 12 team playoff has a flaw, and I don't want to keep going. Oh, then we'll have to have 16 so that we have no.
Thank you.
Because if we keep expanding it and saying, okay, let's just do 16, so that way those 2 teams out can get in, and we can still put in 2 teams from a group of 5. No, you just take the 12 best teams. And I know you group of 5 people, you're like, that's not fair. You're taking away from the glory of the game. And, what about if a crazy upset happens? It ain't happened yet. I know we're in year 2, but it ain't happened yet. And I don't think it's going to happen this year. Okay? Sorry, not sorry. Also, I have to say one thing, because I live in Memphis. Memphis fans, screw you all. If you guys have won all your fucking games you're supposed to, I could go to this game. I could go to Oxford and watch Memphis versus Ole Miss, because that would be an instant classic, because both of those schools hate each other. And I can't now, because who gives a shit about Tulane?
Okay, Tristan. Here's what I will say. The 12-team playoff was a mistake overall. It was a mistake. Yes. It should still be the 14 playoff or the BCS, one or the other. It was a mistake.
I don't think it should have ever left BCS. I don't think it ever should have left BCS.
Yeah, that's very true. I think I like
14 made it special.
I like the consolation bowl games. I like if you didn't make the national championship, you can play for a higher bowl game. Yes. I like that a lot. But here's the
14 playoff then still made it feel special. I don't hate the 12 team. I just hate how they have it structured. Just take the 12 best teams.
No. I think the group of 5 team should be allowed in. I think it should.
I
And
see the
March
argument with
Madness,
that.
in March Madness,
They're not going to win.
they put the 16
Jay,
seeds.
they're
They're not going
different
to win.
sports. They're
That's
fundamentally
64
different sports.
teams, Jay. That's 64. We're talking about 12.
68.
I know.
We're talking about 12.
I know,
compared
but
to 64.
68.
I still think,
yeah, because you got the first, yeah.
I still think there should be a G5 representative.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but we got to stop hiding behind smoke and mirrors and call a spade a spade. Tulane is not winning that game. JMU is not winning that game.
If you asked me earlier this year, I could have Tulane beating Ole Miss.
Out of any team we've seen yet. Because this is an Ole Miss team that just lost their head coach by name. And it's
and they don't care.
Here's the thing.
They don't care. All
G5
the players
schools,
are still there saying,
G5 schools,
Lane Kiffin.
G5 schools have won New Year's Six Bowls. It's happened before. And there are people who say that those games are just an automatic blowout. There's still blowouts in the playoffs, even if it's two good teams. Blowouts still happen. It should
never have been 12. It should never have been 12.
I totally agree with you there.
Ruined bowl games, period.
I totally agree with you on that.
Because now we have teams like Notre Dame who are going to just decline these big-time bowls and just sit on their ass all offseason.
By the way, Notre Dame is the biggest pussies ever for opting out of the bowl game. I think.
Oh no! Not don't limit that to just Notre Dame. Every single fucking school that did. Florida State, after going, what did they go 2-10 last year? They went 5-7 this year, declining.
FSU opted out.
How does Norvell have a job?
Yeah.
Somebody please
get rid of him. He's still riding on that undefeated season. But here's my proposal that I have for the bowl thing. If you opt out of bowl game, you should not be postseason eligible a year later.
I saw that. I don't hate it.
But at the same time, I feel like it's very situation based.
I was about to say they're going to find we're going to find a workaround around that either. Anyway,
I can somewhat understand Kansas State opting out because Chris Kleiman retired. I can understand that, but Notre Dame didn't want to play in the bowl just because they thought they were too good for it. That is unbelievably ridiculous. That's Bush League.
I feel like a team recently did that these last couple of years where they were like Florida State, not too like a couple of years ago they went undefeated.
They didn't opt out.
No, they didn't opt out. They didn't opt out.
Everyone,
all their players just they're like, screw that. We ain't.
All the players opted out.
Backups.
Yeah.
So that's basically opting out of the bowl game because if you're talking to me, like that's the thing. You think about all those Notre Dame players that are sitting there that do not get the opportunity to play every day. And they're sitting there like, okay, well, you guys can just opt out if you don't want to play. I'd love to play. And I'm a senior, and I'm about to be a future electrician, man. Because there's no shot that I'm getting drafted. You took that away from him.
Yeah,
pussy move.
Pussy move. And I remember last year watching Notre Dame's run to the national championship. I'm like, are they actually likable now? And then this year happened, and I did. I'm like, nope, they're not likable anymore.
Notre Dame has never been likable.
They have never been like Dame. Do you see their schedule next year, dog?
Yeah, no, I saw it. Okay, here's what I will say.
That's what mind boggles me is that we have Big Ten fans with the nerve to get in my DMs and tell me, "Oh, the SEC schedule's cupcakes." Shut the fuck up. Look at Notre Dame. Why is that?
Well, they're not Big Ten. They're not Big Ten. To be fair,
something about it. We're playing 9 games next year.
Yeah.
Notre Dame still allowed to get away with that bullshit, bro.
Yeah. Okay. And my thoughts on Notre Dame joining a conference, I think obviously it would be better for them to join. I get it's a tradition to be independent, but here's the thing: if you're going to stay independent,
what tradition is that?
It's a long story. Basically, back in the 1920s, when the Big Ten was first forming, Notre Dame wanted to join it. Fielding Yost, the guy at Michigan, the guy who's ahead of it, was very anti-Catholic when it happened, and he kicked them out. And ever since then, they never wanted to join a conference because of that.
What year was that? 1920, you said?
I understand why. I understand why they don't want to join a conference. But at the same time, even if you go 10-2, you should not be expecting a playoff berth if you didn't play in a conference championship game. There's an advantage to being an independent. You get to make the easiest schedule possible. The disadvantage, no conference championship game. I don't think they should be.
If you're telling me that the biggest tradition of your school is hitting a poster on the way out of your tunnel And the fact that you do not want to be a part of a conference just because of something that happened 100 years ago. That's your biggest tradition is we are traditionally independent. You are a piece of shit dog crap school with no real history to you. If that's your biggest tradition,
Their
go
biggest
fuck
tradition
yourself.
is getting that fucking bag from CBS or whatever network paid them to
Go
stay
NBC. It was
independent.
go
NBC.
absolutely
That's
fuck
another reason why
yourself.
they're independent because they get that contract from NBC. But again,
NBC's mid.
again, I don't care if they stay independent. That's not my choice. But like at the same time, they shouldn't be complaining about not getting in at being 9-2 with the easiest schedule ever and not playing in a conference
And
championship
then the
game.
fucking workaround. Did you see
Yeah.
that bullshit that they're trying to do right now? Is they're trying to
Yes. When they're
work
trying to call the
if they
yeah,
win like 11 games or 10
they're
games and they
guaranteed to a playoff
automatically get in.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
fucking
I
ridiculous.
I just I have a problem with the fact that they actually had the nerve to complain. And then when told that you should go join a conference, their athletic director slandered the ACC, and the
Yeah.
ACC was nothing but nice to them in their reply. Nothing but nice. I saw a rumor that they have been talking to the SEC. Please, I speak for every single team in the SEC. No, Jay, you're shaking your head now.
No, I'm
I'm
saying
shaking
don't
my
join
head
the
yes.
SEC.
No, no, that's I speak for I think every single one, even Kentucky, South Carolina, the shit schools right now. Speak for every single one of them. Please come catch these hands. Please come catch these hands. Because then you will find out really freaking quickly how bad 4-8 can feel compared to your what did they go to this year? 10-2. What did they go? 10-2, 11-1? What did they go?
They went 10 and
Somebody help
2.
me.
10-2.
10-2. Okay. You're gonna feel how bad 8-4 or 4-8 feels compared to your 10-2 right now.
They
You
beat
might
Georgia
still go
last
eight and
year.
four, but you'll lose, dog. You will lose. Okay?
I'm just saying
You
they beat
will
Georgia
lose if you
last
have to
year.
play an SEC. Okay, that was their one good game that they had last year. They had to do that shit night in and night out. It's not happening every night, dog. Sorry. It's a gauntlet. It's different.
All right.
It's different.
Well, to switch gears, something when we haven't been filming for the past 2 weeks, something has happened. The coaching carousel. Some insane moves have happened throughout the college football world. Nick, I want to give you what are your top 3 hires this coaching cycle?
Ooh, top 3 hires. That's fairly tough. I feel like a bunch of good hires have been made.
You want me to start? Because I
I'll
have mine in
I'll
mind.
start. No, I
Okay.
have a few in mind.
Third
I
place.
really like Eric Morris to Oklahoma State still. I know that was very early in the process,
No, I
but that's a phenomenal hire in my mind. That's
So
perfect.
my honorable mentions were Alex Golish to Auburn. I really like that. It might be the Tennessee bias in me, but I was telling my friend who's an Auburn fan, I'm like, dude, get hyped. This dude is amazing.
Mhm.
So that's an honorable mention. I think a guy who flew under the radar was Jamarcus Shepard to Oregon State. If you've seen the receivers he's produced, it's insane.
I like
He was
it, but the
out.
only thing is he doesn't really have head coaching experience.
Oh
But
no, he doesn't.
for Oregon State, it's a great
Yeah,
hire.
for Oregon State, that is a great hire. If you look at all the receivers that he produced, Roma Dunze, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk. I mean, he's got Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard. He had Puka Nakua too at Washington. It's crazy how many receivers he's produced. So, yeah. But number 3, I was really concerned about this team's future as a football program because it was looking like a complete disaster. But they got the right guy, one of the top head coaching prospects. I'm talking about Bob Chesney to UCLA. I thought that was a really good hire.
It's a
I
good
don't know
I'm concerned for his recruiting because he has
that
no connections out west. He has
that is
no
true.
connections to being out west.
That is true. But like that was probably one of the best head coaching prospects available. And I did not think UCLA was going to get a big guy like that. I thought they were going to play it safe or something like that. You get Bob Chesney. I thought he was going to go to Penn State. I thought he was going to be their top option. But he goes to UCLA. I think that was a great move. So yeah, number 2, Brian Hartline to USF.
Yeah, that was going to be my number 2 as well. I think
I just
giving him the resources
yeah
at USF and the recruiting hotbed specifically for wide receivers in Florida, he's
yeah.
going to be dangerous.
I mean yeah he's amazing. He's one of the best recruiters probably the best recruiter in the country. If we're talking about if we're excluding head coaches, I guess he's a head coach now, but and then number 1, it's kind of an obvious one. This was just a match made in heaven. Everything about it is perfect. James Franklin to Virginia Tech. I don't think anything can top that. I think it was
Yeah.
James Franklin needed Virginia Tech as much as Virginia Tech needed James Franklin. I think it was just perfect all the way around.
And you're already seeing like the results.
Yeah.
I mean, right now.
I
I
mean,
just realized my camera's been blurry this entire
Brent
time. I'm
Pry,
pissed off, man.
Brent Pry, who was just fired by the school, decided to come back as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
You never see that happen.
That's what I was gonna say.
Props
So,
to him for doing that too.
I'll give you my 3, and then I probably got to dip, boys.
All right.
I'm going to say my honorable mention just because if you put it in the top 3, I feel like I will have a target on my back and people will hunt me down just for saying it. Lane Kiffin to LSU. Anytime that someone
Yeah.
switches up from Brian Kelly to Lane Kiffin, you got to give them some kind of applause, even though now I fucking hate LSU. I hate LSU because I hate Lane Kiffin. You can't make can't make a hoe a housewife. My 3, I love the UCLA hire. I agree. I really loved everything that they've been able to do. Even with Nico, I can't remember the offensive coordinator's name.
Jerry
But he had that one. Yeah, he had the one game where he went straight in, no game planning, nothing. He went straight in and they dominated that game. They ended up winning it. Props to him. Nico's actually looked good in the middle of their season somehow. I don't even.
And then he regressed back.
It was
to normal.
weird.
He fell back.
Yeah, and it was like weird to me, It was almost like it was weird. Excuse me. I wrote all these down, but now it's not coming up. What was my 2?
I want to say one that we haven't said yet. I'm going to get slack for this, I feel like, but Sunbelt Billy back in the Sunbelt.
That was a great one.
That was a good hire.
Yeah.
I feel like
that was a good hire.
Pretty good hire.
I realized what my 2. Kentucky. I think it was I don't love I say that by prefacing it. I'm not sure about the hire. It's probably a solid hire, but the balls it takes to fire Mark Stoops, after as much as he has done and being a Kentuckian, I'll give him props for that, I guess. It takes balls to do that. It's not an easy decision. Mark Stoops has been there for forever. So props to him. And my number 1 was James Franklin to VT. I mean, that VT is going to be good again. Enter Sandman's going to have juice again. That's going to be so much fun to watch, bro. It's going to be so much fun. Fellas, I love what you guys are doing. Everybody that's watching this, make sure you also check out the Hitting Cage and check everything out McCosh. This is Jason's baby, and I'd be remiss if I don't help the sports side of it because I want to put my face everywhere on this. So follow me, even though these fuckers wouldn't tell you to do that. So I'll tell you to do that. Follow me.
No, don't follow
the
Tristan.
Hitting Cage. Make sure you guys keep watching their show because it's great so far. Love what you boys are doing, and thank you guys for having me. RG, I love you. Thank y'all for having me. See you, boys.
It was great having you, Tristan. Have a good one, man.
See you guys.
But all right, Jay, back to this conversation. One more. I want to mention one more. I really like Charles Huff's Memphis. That was
a good one too.
Memphis.
The one thing about that is he's rising up fast, so I don't think he's going to be a long-term option at Memphis. I think he's going to be there for a few seasons. I don't know how well it's going to
pan out either because he won the Sun Belt, I believe, at Marshall.
Yeah, he went at Marshall.
Took a lot of his players to Southern Miss. They went 7-5. So
Southern Miss was not good before they hired him too.
That's very true. They were 1-2 program maybe.
Yeah.
But jumping up to Memphis from that is a huge step up. I like the hire personally, but I can totally see where this just is a barn fire and just sucks for them.
Yeah, I think the only problem with it is that he's probably not a long-term option because he really is climbing up the ranks from what I've seen from him. But let me give you a hire I was not a fan of personally. Matt Campbell to Penn State. I I love Matt Campbell as a coach. I think it was. I mean, what he did at Iowa State was like incredible because Iowa State was one of the doormats of college football. They
Mm-hmm.
had their first 10-win season last year, I think, ever. So they were one of the worst programs in college football history. Comes in, turns them into a consistent winner, top 25 school. The problem that I have with this hire is I don't think it's the right match. Matt
I
Campbell,
don't.
Penn
I don't
State.
think so either. I think it's James Franklin light and esque of. I don't think he's going to win you those
Exactly.
big games.
It's not an upgrade from James Franklin. Penn State is trying to be a
I
championship
think it's an
team.
upgrade. I think it's an upgrade. I think
You
they'll
think it is
win.
an upgrade?
I think they'll win some of these big games because of it, but nowhere near the rate they're going to want to.
Yeah. I mean, they fired James Franklin because they wanted to win championships. And I just don't. I feel like they should have taken a flyer on someone. They should have done a
They
better
should have
job.
done it very early in the process when they had their pickings. I mean, they
Yeah.
waited the longest time, had the most public and embarrassing
Yeah.
expenditure to fire a head coach out of any school that we saw during this cycle. And then they got a guy who most are comparing to James Franklin in their inability to win big time games. That's
Yeah.
a failure
Penn
in
State's
general.
recruiting class has just plummeted since then.
Uh-huh.
They're all leaving Virginia Tech, and I don't really blame them. It's like James Franklin's stock has skyrocketed since this happened. Penn State
Somehow.
stock has
I mean,
plummeted since
he's
then.
a good coach. He's not an elite coach. He's a good coach. I
Yeah.
get that. But the fact that his stock has skyrocketed as much as it has is ridiculous.
I think it's just the fact that he's in the ACC. I think it's just the change of scenery.
I think ACC is by far easier than the Big Ten. ACC is the easiest of the Power Four conferences for sure. And I can see that. There's no elite teams. I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
But we
the
definitely
cannibalism.
I've talked about this before, that ACC has a bunch of good teams. They have 0 elite teams. So it's going to be a favorable situation for James Franklin.
Another
I
one
still
I
don't
was
think he wins some of those big games.
Yeah. Another one that I was not a fan of was Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas.
I mean, I feel like as soon as
That
Memphis
was-
beat them, they were going to hire him. That's what that felt like.
I understand that, but they had Alex Golish right there, and I just think Alex Golish was
They had
better
a bunch
hire.
of pros. They had Eric Morris right there.
They had Eric Morris. They had Alex Golish.
Better hire.
I remember seeing a report that Alex Golish was going to take the job at Arkansas. It was a few days before he officially got hired to Auburn. I saw the report that he got hired. I'm like, this is a really good hire.
No. They finalized a deal for Golish. That was the report. They said they had a deal finalized for Golish, and Alex Golish knew better than to go to the shithole that is Arkansas.
Yeah, that's right. But it got to the point, I think Arkansas fans were protesting outside because they didn't want Ryan Silverfield.
Yeah, I saw that. They had bags on their heads. I mean, it's not a terrible hire. There's definitely worse. Like Tulane's was
bad.
Tulane, yeah. You promote your passing game coordinator, who was the guy that got fired from 2-10, whatever, Southern Miss, to be your new head coach after you just made the playoffs. What are we doing?
Yeah, that one was a bad one. Another bad one was UAB hiring Alex Mortensen. I did not understand that one.
Promotions, the in-staff or like in-school promotions that have happened pretty much so far this cycle have been terrible.
Yeah.
They've not benefited people.
I don't know that much about Pete Golding personally, but I just know Alabama fans did not like him when he was there. He's not the head coach at Ole Miss after.
He's not going to win a whole lot at Ole Miss.
I think if there's one silver lining, I guess you saw when he got introduced as a head coach, the whole team embraced him. So maybe there is that, but like
there's that.
I just don't think it's anything crazy.
I think it's going to be good, Jay.
What about? Yeah, no. I mean, I agree with you on that. What about John Summerall to Florida? What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. I think Kentucky should have targeted him because of his history.
Kentucky alum, yeah.
Kentucky. But honestly, I think he's too good of a candidate for Kentucky. To be honest, Kentucky's football program is a shithole right now. They suck. They haven't been good in several years. Stoops has been just letting that thing die under his embrace. They finally fired him, and they can't go and get an alumni who played football and is a football guy to come be their coach. I like it for Florida. I did think pretty much the entire time since they fired Napier that they were going to get Lane Kiffin. So
Yeah, I thought they were
personally,
going to
as
get
a
Kiffin
Tennessee
too.
fan, I am ecstatic that they didn't get Kiffin.
Yeah,
But I think Summerall is still a good coach, and he will fix up the Florida team. I don't think he's going to be a national championship, but there's going to be a year or two where I think he'll sniff the playoffs. I
they could
don't
be a
know.
playoff
He
team with
might get
him.
in, but I don't think he'll make noise in there.
Yeah, I could totally see him see Florida being a playoff team with them. Any other hires that we didn't go over? Do you know of?
I'm trying to go through all the openings.
There was Iowa State hiring Washington State's head coach. That one could be good. He won an FCS national championship with
He
South Dakota
did, but
State.
it didn't. Washington State didn't look that good this year.
They almost beat Ole Miss.
They almost beat Ole Miss, and they were horrific otherwise.
I
Like
thought they
that,
went like I thought they went like 8-5 or something like that.
I
Did
think
they
they went
not?
like 7-5. Like they weren't good. Like they can be bowl eligible, but still not be a good team. Because honestly, I
Yeah.
don't see it being a good team.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about one. Pat Fitzgerald to Michigan State. I think that was a good hire.
I think if you're Michigan State, you had to take the chance on Pat
Yeah.
Fitzgerald. You
And
had to.
here's the thing. The stuff outside of football, he was wrongfully accused of the whole hazing incident. I don't think he had any knowledge about it. That they went through it. He got a settlement out of court. It was something like that. I think.
That whole thing's sketchy to me. But even
Yeah.
outside of football, like he did take Northwestern to those heights never seen before, and
Yeah.
then they plummeted right back down.
Yeah.
So like he hasn't coached in the NIL era,
Yeah.
which is a big red flag. But if you're Michigan State, you have to take this risk. Mel Tucker had what, one good year with
Yeah. He probably would have built
Walker?
something if he didn't do what he did.
If he didn't push or run more.
Yeah, exactly. Something about Michigan coaches and being freaky.
Dude, I gotta calm them down. Something in that water
Yeah.
up there, I guess.
Yeah.
They're getting
Oh, another
busy.
one. Cal hiring Tosh
I
Looper.
like that one. The Oregon DC. I like it. I
Yeah.
think it's good. I think them getting JKS to stay
Yes.
was
Yeah,
more
that was
important than the head coach hire, honestly.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
that's a guy that easily could attract about 10 mil from any team, any big
Yeah.
time team, I'd say. I'd be willing to pay him 10 mil. I think he's that good of a quarterback.
He's really
Like
good, yeah.
up to 10 mil in NIL is worthy of JKS as long as you can coach him out of some of those bad mistakes he wants to make and he has made. But he's a gunslinger, and them getting a defensive minded guy, he's got to go get a good offensive coordinator to let him sling that football. But I do like the hire for Cal.
Yeah, and then Stanford. They got the guy on the Commanders coaching staff, right? I can't remember what his
Yeah,
name
the
is.
quarterback coach who used to
Stanford
play
alum.
quarterback for him.
That one
They
doesn't
have,
really wow me, but like
it's
I don't
like
think they could have gotten a big hire. Yeah,
you need something. Stanford football's been in the dump for years
yeah.
now. So you
There's
need
just
somebody who cares about the team to try and ignite a spark. Whether it works or not, you have time. Like they're not going to fire him year one, probably. Especially
yeah.
not Luck. Luck is not going to fire a guy that he played football with in year
No,
one.
he's only going to fire Frank Reich just because he's the interim guy, which is one of the weirdest hires I've ever seen. But
That was very weird.
yeah, to switch gears though for our last segment, kind of something. I mean, it's still called football, but it's like kind of outside all the news and stuff like that. The Army Navy game is happening this weekend, and we were unable to film right after rivalry week, so I really wanted to do this segment. We're gonna give our top 10 rivalries in college football. One of my favorite things about the sport is just looking at all the rivalries across the country and all the traditions. So yeah, let's get into it. So for my number 10 rivalry, I'm gonna go with one that's kind of picked up in steam as of recently. It's easily the biggest rivalry in the region. Oregon Washington. I think that
That's
is a
a good
top
one.
10 rivalry, and it's only going to get better now that they're both in the Big Ten. I get they still play Washington
I
State and
don't know
Oregon
if I
State.
agree with that. I don't know if I agree with it's getting better because it's in the Big Ten. That game in the Pac-12 would be electric.
But I think it's also getting better because the programs are rising. So
That
there's
is
also
true.
that. And also, again, that, I mean, obviously sucks that they're in the Big Ten now, but one of the advantages is they get to play each other in rivalry week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think those two teams, I mean, the Pacific Northwest, not really a college football place. Those two schools are obviously really good. They don't like each other. And
No.
yeah.
For my number
So,
10, I'm going exact opposite part of the country in the Southeast. Give me the game that's played in Jacksonville, Florida, Georgia. It's been fairly one-sided recently, but these are two teams that don't like each other, period.
yeah.
Like they hate each other.
Yeah.
And I hate that it's played in Jacksonville, but it's a good rivalry.
No, I think Florida Georgia is one of the exceptions when it comes to neutral site games. It's
No,
always been in Jacksonville. Yes.
I
That
hate that it's in Jacksonville.
there's a tradition where they Georgia and Florida students go on this like beach or something like that. I think it's like Frat Beach or something like that. There's a whole thing behind it. That always the best tailgates in the country happen in Georgia, Florida.
I will say it is fantastic tailgates.
Yeah. I put that one. I think that's my top honorable mention. It's not going to be my top 10. I really wanted to put it there, but I just don't think I can. Coming in at number 9, it's a rivalry where you think they're rivals with each other until you actually look at it. They absolutely hate each other. Two smaller schools, they're right next to each other, which again I didn't realize until I actually looked at the geographics of it. It's definitely picked up some steam in a few years after they started playing each other again. Kind of killed by realignment. That's Pitt in West Virginia, the backyard brawl.
Oh, that's my number 9 too.
That's your number 9? Yeah.
My number 9 too. It's a great rivalry game. I mean,
Yes. It's
it's
so
what
much fun.
whatever miles of hate or whatever
100.
they
Well, 100
genuinely.
miles of hate is Western Kentucky MTSU.
That's what that one is.
Local rivalry, yeah.
They
But
really
they're about
do.
100 miles of each other. It's just the
Mhm.
classic elitist school versus small town farmland. Like it's perfect that way. There are just some crazy, crazy moments that happened. There was 13-9, which West Virginia was going to play for a national championship in 07. They lose to a 4-7 Pitt team, 13-9, and then you had the Pitt 6. And again, they both had their own battle cries. West Virginia, eat shit, Pitt, every
Mhm.
game, and then Pitt fans 13-9. So yeah, and I'm so glad that it's starting to become a yearly thing again
Oh,
because
it
it
needs
was
to be a
killed.
yearly thing
It was
every year.
killed for like 10 years or something like that. Again,
Mhm.
I didn't even realize the like stakes of the rivalry until a few years back when they started playing it with each other. I mean, Pitt plays at an NFL stadium. Those environments are always the worst in college football, except when
Mhm.
West Virginia comes into town. It is one of the best environments whenever that happens. So yeah, shout out Pitt, West Virginia. I guess that was your number 9 too. So let's head over to number 8. My number 8 is an SEC rivalry between two schools who are not very successful in the conference, but just some of the weirdest stuff happens every year. Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Oh my God, we have the same
That's your number 8.
too. The Egg Bowl is my number 8 too.
We did not go through this, by the way, for the viewers. We
No,
did not go
I
through
put
this.
this
This is
together after the show started. By the way, for all the viewers at home, I looked at this after we started talking about the first segment, so we have no recollection
yeah,
of this.
yeah.
Like we did not know we were going to do this.
There's just so many weird things that come out of the
It's
rivalry.
so weird, and I
Yeah,
love that it's on Thanksgiving or Black Friday every year. I
yeah.
love it.
It
It's
should still be on Thanksgiving, obviously.
Yeah, but it's a time when you're with your family, you throw on this game, and some weird shit is happening.
Yeah.
Like either DK Metcalf is pissing, pretending to be a
That was
dog.
Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, yeah, losing the game for
Or
Ole
like
Miss
more,
because he
sorry.
decided to pee.
Yeah,
There was a play in the '80s where Mississippi State was lining up for a game-winning field goal, and like a gust of wind comes in, and the ball literally like goes up like this and then
I
goes
did.
straight down, like
Yes.
out of a
What
cartoon
was
or
it?
something
It's
like
called
that.
like the
The
immaculate
immaculate
something.
deflection. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just some crazy shit that happens. I think the funniest thing about it, the fact that it's called the Egg Bowl. There are no like Mississippi's not known for egg production.
Right.
The trophy was just a football that looks like an egg. It was just a shitty football trophy. And they're
I
like, oh,
love
it
it.
looks like an egg.
I
And then
love it.
this year, the Mississippi State fan stealing Trinidad Chambliss's jersey, using it as a carpet in his shower, and then exposing himself uh, by posting it on social media, and then getting kicked out of school for that. Just so much crazy shit that happens. And yeah, I mean, again, these are two of the worst teams in SEC history, but one of the best rivalries in the conference for sure.
Absolutely.
So number 7, this is going to be a little bit biased, but I think we're in the golden era of this rivalry. Tennessee, Alabama.
Ooh, 7. Okay.
I think you have to put it in the top 10. Nick Saban, I'm not going to say that we're Alabama's biggest rival because it's not true. But Nick Saban said that Tennessee is the most important game every year for Alabama. I think
it's
just the
hate.
fact
It's genuine hate between these two schools.
what Charles Barkley said, I would rather root for Afghanistan than Alabama. And that is 100% true. I have nothing but hatred towards Alabama. The victory cigar tradition, one of the best in college football. I don't smoke. Only time I ever smoked was a victory cigar. It was my 21st birthday and a victory cigar after we beat Alabama. There's just so much fun stuff coming out of the tradition. I mean, for on the Alabama side of things, you had that student in the early 2000s. What was it? They know good. They some snitches. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your number 7?
My number 7 it's a group of 5, or it was a group of 5, and it's been wrongfully taken away from us. It's been a little lopsided as of recently, but give me the war on I-4. USF and UCF. I mean,
top 10.
I growing up watching this and watching Quinn and Flowers cook UCF's defense. That was special to me, man. These teams don't like each other. It's USF and UCF. Do you imagine how many times they get confused for each other?
I think it makes. I think one of the best things about it is the fact that it's not even like a sports rivalry. There's definitely a rivalry between the two schools, like outside of sports, because those are like two extremely similar schools. Orlando and Tampa, they're nearby each other too. So I can understand that. I don't know if I'd put it in the top 10, especially since it's sadly been discontinued.
That's fair, but going off of memory of Quinton Flowers just running wild, for me that holds a special part of my soul.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was gonna say. One of the rivalries that I was thinking of, but for UCF was UCF Cincinnati, but I get that has more of like a regional thing to it. But I don't hate that. I'm just shocked that you have it in the top 10.
That's fair. I wanted to go a little bit off the road here because I didn't want to get too repetitive with teams.
I like the vision. Number 6. This is going to be a little bit of cheating here, right? I'm actually doing a 3-way rivalry. Florida, Florida State, Miami.
Or no, all the Florida teams. I mean, just
I think those 3 though.
That's fair.
College football ran through Florida from the late 80s to the early 2000s, and every time, I mean, it was Florida State playing each other at the end of every year. Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier, and then you had Florida State and Miami. They just had some crazy showdowns. I would say the biggest rivalry out of the 3 is Florida State Miami, personally. And I'd say the weakest link is Florida Miami, just because they don't play each other yearly. But even then, they still hate each other. Like I saw a documentary, The U, on ESPN. They were talking about how they didn't play Florida every year. It's kind of them two pointing the fingers at each other, saying, "Oh, they're scared of us. No, they're scared of us." So there's a rivalry outside of it, even if they don't play yearly. I just think all 3 of the schools have an almost equal hatred of each other. And again, they almost always play each other. I know, Miami and Florida is kind of off and on, but I just think it's the perfect 3-way rivalry in college football. I think they have a 3-way trophy, if I'm not mistaken, about who the best team in Florida is.
Really?
I really do think that is such a great rivalry between Florida and Florida State Miami, and Florida Miami. And even then, even in the '90s when they were all three in different conferences, so they played each other in bowl games too.
Mm.
But what was your number 6?
Once again, I feel like mine is a little bit off the beaten path there, but it's the Holy War. Utah BYU. It's a great rivalry. It's a
That
rich rivalry. It's been played since 1896. So not every year since then, but there's been a lot of football played between these two teams, and it's very underrated, I feel like, in the
yeah,
broad scheme of things.
no, I think that is a great choice. I didn't have that one in my top 10 personally. It was one of my honorable mentions, but it's the perfect battle between. I mean, Utah isn't really a party school, but they are in the sense of Utah. And then you
Yeah.
have BYU, which is the most strict religious school ever. I mean, they're always going to butt heads with each other, no matter what, whether it's in football, basketball, baseball, whatever. They're always going to butt heads with each other outside of school. I mean, just everything about it. There's just this is a hatred between the two, and it's a lot of fun for sure. And that was one of the best things to come out of this realignment cycle was BYU
Yes,
and Utah
for
both
sure.
joining the Big 12, so it can be a yearly matchup. Let's just get it at the end of the season from now on.
Mm.
Coming in at number 5, it's a rivalry. Most rivalries in college football they have geographical similarities. This is the only one on the list that isn't similarly geographically, but it's between two absolutely historic programs. So many
I,
legends to come out of the
I
school,
think
so
I know
many
where you're
national
going.
championships, Heisman winners. Pretty much the battle of the elitist schools, USC Notre Dame.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go there. It's a good one. It's a good one. I
Yeah,
like it. I think that one was top of my honorable mentions. I wanted to
yeah.
put it in, but then I saw the War on I-4, and I'm like, ah.
I don't know. There's something about USC Notre Dame, and I love
Mhm.
everything about the rival. As a college football historian myself, I love everything about it. The rivalry was played in the 1920s, and it's played every year since. It was done by a handshake agreement.
Yeah.
So there's that. The future of it was in jeopardy, but I think it got restored next year. So as much as I hate Notre Dame's scheduling decisions, at least they rescheduled Notre Dame
Yeah.
because that is for sure one of the best rivalries, and they got such a cool trophy to the jeweled
Mhm.
shillelagh. Um, there's just so many great moments between the two schools.
My
What
number
was your
5
yeah,
is one you already mentioned, third Saturday of October, so I won't go too deep into that, but it's a good rivalry. I
yeah,
had to have
for
it top
sure.
5.
I mean, there is absolutely nothing that I hate more than Alabama football. You know that. I will do
Mm.
anything to discredit them for anything. I mean, just take it from us as Tennessee students. I just do not like Alabama. But number 4, this is my only G5 rivalry. It's a rivalry that gets an entire week dedicated to it.
Yes.
Army Navy. It's
Yes.
got to be in the top 5. It may not be as much of a hatred between the two teams, but there's just something so much fun about it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Army Navy. I mean, they run the triple option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your
For
number 4?
4, I got to go Red River rivalry. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Two big schools historically. I think it's really tough to beat that. It's such a fun game to watch, and I feel like it's the only exception to the neutral site game.
Is the Red River rivalry? It's easily the
Yeah.
best neutral site matchup in college football. I mean, it's completely even. Like I don't know who owns who. I don't know who's big bro, who's little bro, and when that rivalry comes. Texas and Oklahoma joined by the hip. Um, yeah, that one's just so much fun to watch. What's your number 3?
My number 3, Jay, is your number 4, Army Navy. I think that one has the edge because of the historical and the
Yeah,
meaning between the two teams and how classic it is. But I love a good old triple option matchup.
I think Army Navy's another exception too for neutral sites as well.
No, don't they play at each other's?
No, they play in like New York, Philadelphia,
MetLife.
DC,
Yeah, and
Baltimore.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They always kind of circle between those 4. Coming in at number 2, this was such a tough one. Number 1 and number 2. I have the Iron Bowl at number 2.
I
And I'll
agree.
explain why.
I agree with your rankings completely here.
Yep. I'll explain why I have the game at number 1, but what's your number 2?
It's Iron Bowl, and then 1 is
Okay.
the game.
Number 1's
Iron
game.
Bowl is fantastic, but the game has been such a great watch the last several years.
Yeah. I think the Iron Bowl has the more iconic moments between the two.
Yes.
But I think the reason why the game is number 1 is you cannot. I can't differentiate who's big brother and little brother in the rivalry. That is a genuine even rivalry. I would say Michigan has a slight edge, but I think Ohio State's the better program when it comes to that. I don't know. I think Michigan, Ohio State, and the other thing too is like Alabama and Auburn have other rivals too. Michigan and Ohio State pretty much only have each other.
Yeah,
I know Michigan State.
Michigan has Michigan State, but they don't really.
But that's a basketball rivalry.
Yeah,
that's basketball. Michigan and Ohio State pretty much only have each other for football, and it just leads to such an amazing matchup. It always ends in a fight every single year, and there's nothing quite like it, despite the fact that it's always a noon game. But again, that's just the tradition. Well, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of the Unranked Recruits. Make sure to check us out, McCosh Films 88 Keys on Instagram, online, and on YouTube. And make sure to DM us for the show suggestions. And we might need some editors in the future, so just let us know, some graphic design or something like that.
Hey, Jay, where can they DM us at?
McCosh Films and 88 Keys on Instagram.
And you too. What's your handle? Plug yourself, Jay.
J __ _King ___. Nick, what's yours?
And if you'd prefer to DM the more sane-minded person and myself, you can go ahead and do so.
Hey, I've had that.
Sports _with _Nick Rose.
I've had that handle since middle school, okay? But that's going to wrap it up for us. What does Tristan say? Stay funky and fresh, my friends.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be it for this week's episode of the Unranked Recruits. See y'all later.